Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our 6th grade moving on ceremony. Woo! So much for that cloudy forecast, and we'll try not. I learned early on that the way to be a best public speaker is to have a powerful message and be quick. So we'll try to get you all to lunch as quickly as possible. Laurie, I saw you laughing. So it's with a lot of great pleasure that I stand before you here today. This gathering represents not only the celebration of the year of hard work, but recognition of the transition from one school to another, but it's a transitional point in these young people's lives. This is their last week, these last 2 days of elementary school. Later on this August, when they enter that shiny new school down the street, they'll be middle school students, and by this time next year, all of you will be teenagers. It's wonderful to gather here together today and reflect upon all the hard work that got everybody here. I've only been lucky enough to be the principal of the Howard School for a year, but it's this group that welcomed me first when I got here. From the parent of a 6th grade student who was on my interview committee, Paula Mulvey, to the student council group that met me here and made me sweat through my interview with them a whole lot more than I sweated through the one with the superintendent. They asked a lot of really hard questions, and I actually left that half hour, which seemed like about 4 hours, feeling like there was really a group of kids that were dedicated and cared a lot about this school. I can tell how much, it's really a fascinating community you all have here. Every student in this grade knows each other, and that's kind of a rare thing. There's not a lot of small towns around, and every other district I've worked in, you have 12, 13, 14 classes per grade, and it's entirely possible to get through your senior year and have someone walk across that stage and think, I've never really talked to that person before. And that doesn't happen here in West Bridgewater. You look across this field and you all know each other. You've all gone from kindergarten right up through 6th grade together. And in 6 short years, you're all going to be crossing the high school stage together, and you're linked together. You're a part of a crew. When you guys are 35, 40 years old, if you live in town or if you come back to town, you're going to run into each other at restaurants. You're going to see each other at Thanksgiving at the football field. And you're going to remember these years that you all grew up together. So it's really a powerful thing, and I want to make sure you all recognize and understand what a wonderful thing that is. I want to take a moment to recognize one of our teachers before we go any further into today's ceremony, who's also making a transition. And after 11 years as a wonderful math teacher here at the Howard School, Mrs. Carol Battaglia is going to be retiring. And I want to take a moment to recognize her and thank her for all of her hard work with the kids. She's so mad at me right now. I've only, again, known Mrs. Battaglia for 1 year, but I've been so impressed with her commitment to our kids, her commitment to math, her laser-like focused commitment to math, and her willingness to do whatever's best for the kids, whatever's best for the grade, and whatever's best for the school, whether it's supporting them academically, emotionally, socially, in any other way. And we want to thank you for your service, and we're going to miss you very dearly, Ms. Battaglia. So I want to have Mrs. Mills come up for a few minutes and just say a few things about Ms. Battaglia.
Can you hear me now? Yeah. A little short, so we'll see how we do. Today, we are here to celebrate not only the class of 2025, but also one of my esteemed colleagues who is moving on to retirement. Mrs. Battaglia worked at the Boston Globe as an accountant for a number of years before deciding to drastically change her life and share her love of math as a teacher. Her passion for math helped her make this transition, and we are so lucky to have her. There's a Japanese proverb that states, "Better than 1,000 days of diligent study is one day with a great teacher." Carol Battaglia is one of those teachers. She has worked countless hours to help our kids find easier ways to solve their own problems with math. Over the years, she has stayed after Monday through Thursday to help students who are willing to learn. She has an amazing way of simplifying the most difficult problems to solve and turning negative attitudes positive. In a day and age where a teacher is measured by numbers, her value is immeasurable. Her students show significant growth every year on MCAS, but the memories of that current and former students share are more important. Some former students told me their favorite parts of 6th grade were math Olympics, making paper airplanes and throwing them in class to measure distance, Pi Day, and the echoes of trash ball going all the way down the hall. Mrs. B has worked tirelessly to help students reach their full potential. To prepare our students for 7th grade, she has shown students how to do math on a Chromebook, created cool Kahoots, Quizlet Live, and Quizzes games to teach math skills, as well as created some amazing projects to show how math is used in the real world. I could go on forever about her exponential impact, but that would be irrational. We need to eat soon, and I don't want to go on forever like pie. Thank you. I got one more paragraph. Here we go. Mrs. Battaglia, Mrs. Wenzel, and I have worked together for 11 years. And with the addition of Mr. Peckrell, Mrs. Knight, and Mrs. Gamby, we've been a solid team for 9 years. Throughout these years, we have come to count on Mrs. B for many things. Whenever there's a schedule change, which is often, talk to a 6th grader, they will tell you, she is the first person we turn to for help calculating the minutes needed for each block. Mrs. B has taken care of organizing the Gillette field trip and securing coach buses for the Nature's Classroom trip for as long as I can remember. She has been our math guru, our cheerleader, and our friend. Thank you for everything that you've done for us and the students of West Bridgewater. We will miss you. I would like to call up Grace Schnell, Grace Poland, Lally Soto, and Allison Ladine to give Mrs. B a gift from the 6th grade. Come on. Mrs. B, can you come here? So the students designed and created a poster with signatures and their favorite moments in math. So we just wanted to say thank you again, Mrs. Battaglia. Happy retirement.
So I want to take some time to honor and recognize all of our kids for their hard work this year. Before we do that, I just want to recognize that to bring this event together required a lot of planning, a lot of hard work, and a lot of volunteerism from both our staff's end and the parents' end, and I want to recognize that. I want to thank, first of all, Mrs. Anne-Marie Grinder, who's our food services director, for organizing what will surely be an outstanding barbecue, which you'll all get to enjoy in a few minutes. I want to thank Mrs. Susan Morrison, our head custodian, for coming out with me 2 weeks ago and hearing what we wanted to do and going, okay, and set it all up. It took care of everything. Mr. Andy Daigle, our IA, for setting up the sound system and taking care of music today. Mrs. Nelson, our secretary, who, when I explained about the lunch tickets and all that, was like, sounds great. And then that took up like her next 2 weeks. And I think she's a little mad at me right now, so it's probably best that I'm out here and she's in there. And then lastly, I want to thank our parents for bringing in water, food, for volunteering on the grill. I know Ronnie May's over there. I'm not sure who else is over with him. Let's hear it for all the parents and staff who volunteered. So we have a lot of different activities, a lot of different after-school clubs, a lot of different things we do here at the Howard. And I thought it would be nice to just go through what we do here. And as we talk about these clubs and events, have the students who are involved with them stand up so they can be recognized. The first is our student council, which is run by Mr. Peckrell, and they meet every week after school, and they're really the voice of activism in the school, you know, and there's an issue they want to tackle and bring to me to make the school better. If there's something they want to give back to the community, they really are aggressive in that, and they're an energetic group, and I think the world of our student council. So members of our student council, could you please stand to be recognized? Anytime in the last 3 years you've been a member of our student council. And thank you, Mr. Peckrell, for all your hard work with the student council kids. It surely makes our school a better place. Thank you. Thank you. So our Little Leo's Club, which is run by Mrs. Mills and is a junior club of the Lions Club, and they really are involved in volunteerism in the school and volunteerism in the community. They do so many wonderful things. If you were here for our Little Leo's dinner a few weeks ago, I mean, you got to hear the incredibly long list of activities that our kids did this year, from coat drives to being involved at the senior center to food drives to keeping the school a neat and orderly place to just anything that's going to make the West Bridgewater community a better place. So for our 3-year Little Leo's, if you were in Little Leo's for all 3 years here, could you please stand? Little Leo's for 2 years, stand. 3 years, stand up. And 1 year Little Leo's. Thank you. And thank you, Mrs. Mills, for the incredible number of hours you put into this group. So Superhero Awards, which is something we kind of brought in this year, and I kind of wanted to think of something that would, you know, allow our, recognize our students for those little tiny acts of kindness every day that often get overlooked in school. And it's not about getting the best grades every month or, you know, just being the best behaved student, but doing something right, whether it's small or ongoing on a daily basis. So we recognized not only Superheroes of the Month at our assemblies, but whenever staff or parents would let me know about something that our kids had done that was above and beyond, we made sure that they got recognized at all. So if you got a Howard Superhero t-shirt this year, please stand to be recognized. Thank you, kiddos. So band and chorus, and I will say, the chorus and band concert in the springtime was my introduction to the Howard last spring. It was the first event I attended as the incoming principal. And I didn't know Mr. Carrier or Mr. Lemarier very well, but I remember sitting with Mrs. Spencer and thinking, my goodness, for a 4th, 5th, and 6th grade band and chorus group, they have got their act together. And the hours they must put into the practice and how incredibly talented the group is. And watching them this year, both in our winter concert and our spring concert, I felt the same way. And these kids come in the morning for practice. I hear them in the hallways every day in their band lessons. Going to chorus after school is one of the most soothing things you know, that I could possibly be involved in at the end of a long, stressful day. It's nice to hear the kids singing. And even when I shadowed Kylie Mulvey for the day, I got to participate in a chorus practice, which was awesome. So band and chorus students, please stand to be recognized. They're not here right now, but thank you to Mr. Lemarier and Mr. Correa for their hard work with this group. So all of our students right now are wearing t-shirts. They actually just got them this morning. And the t-shirts were designed by a group of different students. It's something we do every year as part of our Moving On tradition. So there were several students involved in the design of our t-shirt design. If those students would please stand to be recognized. I thought there were 2. I was wrong. Good job, Chris. So last week we published our first student newspaper, and I was blown away. You know, I got a chance to sit down. Mr. Peckrell shared it with me a day or 2 early, and I sat down and read it, and I was just blown away with the topics. There was an expose on a really handsome guy that comes to work every day at the Howard School. I thought that was really well written. But a lot of it was really creative, really thoughtful. Some of it was really funny. And again, Mr. Peckrell and Mrs. Richmond for their really hard work and the editing and supervision of the newspaper. If you were involved in the student newspaper, please stand to be recognized. Hot, your mom's here. Inside joke. All right. So our peace poster. Every year the Lions Club celebrates the peace poster competition. And it's a worldwide competition, and they ask students in schools to design posters that encapsulate themes. And this year's theme was Kindness Matters. And so our poster, which is actually hanging up on the other side of the brick wall over there, was drawn by Willow Cooney, and that was the Howard School Peace Poster winner this year. So Willow, I also want to recognize Grace Schnell, Addison Hongasser, and Grace Poland for second, third, and honorable mentions. Thank you. So our GeoBee was actually one of my favorite moments this year. You know, we have this National Geographic Geography Bee, which is obviously sponsored by National Geographic, and it's a 3-grade competition based on your knowledge of you know, world geography, local geography, and then the finals are held in front of the entire school. And I thought it was an awesome event. It was really nice to see our kids getting up and showing their knowledge and being so proud of where they ended up. So I want to recognize our winner for this year, Lauren Holland, and our finalists, Bella Hyde, Aiden Chesley, Caleb Eastman. Please stand to be recognized. And also last year's winner is also in our 6th grade, Isaiah Shea. There's Isaiah. Good job, Isaiah. I mentioned just a second ago the posters, but I want to invite you all, when we're all done, to check out the posters that we have on both sides of the brick wall over here, which they're really kind of nice. There are students as they've been growing up over the years, and just the parents walking by, there was a lot of awes and a few tears, and I think it's really nice to see how far our kids have come, so please make sure you check those out. I want to make sure we recognize our academic achievement awards, because that's, you know, one of the biggest things of what we do every day. So I'm going to call names, and I want those students to be standing so they can be recognized. We have 3 different groups that we're going to recognize today. The first is our outstanding academic achievement. Superior academic excellence, which is going to be students who got all A's on their report card. Ross Arsenault, Samara David, Sophia Florio, Kylie Fuller, Addison Hohengasser, Lauren Holland, Isabella Hyde, Agapi Kuvlis, Anthony Krakowski, Allison Ledden, Zach Lefferts, Serena McDonald, Colin Mayer, Abigail Matta, Lauren Matta, Isabella Marash, Kate Morrill, Savannah Nealon, Ava O'Neill, Audrey Peterson, Grace Poland, Grace Schnell, Darlene Soto, and Mia Whiting. Please stand to be recognized. Outstanding job. Outstanding academic excellence, which is all A's and B's on your report card. Kylie Baptista, Aiden Chesley, Patrick Clark, Hutch Curran, Nick D'Agostino, Marcus David, Allison Donovan, Colby Hackinson, Ashley Hardiman, Ava Harkins, Brendan Hume, Kylie Lewis, Peyton Lyman, Peyton Maloney, Madison May, Randon May, Chris McManaman, Eli Moore, Kylie Mulvey, Riley Noonan, Rachel Shaffert, Tony Skipper, Mia Toshis, Ava Waldman, Emily Wales, Kyle Whittam, Andrew Wright, and Sydney Zunt. Outstanding job, kiddos. And last but not least, we have a growth award this year, and this is not physical growth. This is for emotional growth, academic growth, social growth. I asked our teachers to look at names for kids that, from where they were in September to where they are now in May and June, deserve recognition for exceptional growth over the course of the year. So, Noema Alabama, Amber Bullock, Abby Matta, Kyle Whittam, Peyton Lyman, Ramon Rojas, Brianna Blood, Sean Nee, Brendan Hume, Marcus David, Bella Dubois, and Josh McDonough. Please stand to be recognized. Excellent job, kiddos. Thank you. I saw Miss Holland out here. Is she out here? No. So we're going to do our quilt drawing.
No. Why didn't I get an award for all of these? It's not fair.
So this quilt, I'm not gonna unfold it completely, but this is a variety of artwork that was completed by our 6th grade students over the course of this year. And Mrs. Holland was good enough to take it home and make it into a quilt. It's absolutely beautiful. And a nice keepsake for the kids' time here at the Howard. And our quilt winner, there's no name written on that. Morgan Hawes, Eli Moore's mom. Congratulations. Where's Eli?
Be happy. Hey, you gotta keep it, be happy.
So I want to close today by just recognizing what a wonderful first year it's been. This has been an amazing experience working at the school with these kids. From the first day of school, greeting your children every morning with the high fives as they get off the bus or get out of their car. You know, there's been moments where there's been laughter, there's been tears. You know, it has not always been perfect, but I've been incredibly proud of the perseverance your kids have shown, the positive attitude they've come to school with. I enjoy walking through the cafeteria and hearing what went on over the weekend. I enjoy going through their classes and seeing how hard they work. You have a really special group of kids here, and I think credit, kiddos, goes to your parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles that are sitting here around you for keeping it at it and making sure that you kept what was important in front of you. So let's give your parents and grandparents and everyone else a round of applause. So who's ready to eat? All right. So here's how we're going to do this. In about 4 more minutes, we're going to be ready to serve. So we're going to have kids are welcome at this point to join their families. When I say we're all done, we can join with your families, and we're going to go through the line. We're going to line up to the left of those bushes over there, and we're going to walk. There's 3 tables. So students will be eating. You can just go through the line. Adults, you should have gotten your red lunch tickets when you got here. If you don't have them, you can check in at the main office. They still have them over there. And just make sure someone collects your ticket. We have hot dogs, we have hamburgers. You can have 1 of each, but not 2 of both. And we have a wonderful dessert table of stuff that was donated by our parents. And you know, feel free to sit out here and relax. We've got a big shady area over there, which we will certainly be using next year. And that's it. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Congratulations, 6th graders.